This episode was brought to you by Slate Black Industries. For M-LOK grips and accessories, visit slateBlackIndustries.com. The Australian F-88, also known as the Steyr AUG in some uncultured circles, it was obviously developed in the future. Most of the parts inside of the integrated stalk and grip receiver are made of plastic Tupperware. Especially the translucent plastic magazine, you can even see if the rifle's hungry or not. This tiny scope's a part of the receiver, so you can't pull it off and accidentally put it on backwards. It also doubles as a carrying handle, so if you get shot, your mate can retrieve the rifle. This rifle can discharge cartridge cases to the left and the right to accommodate left-handed shooters, unlike some super complicated designs like the F-2000. There's some other countries that bought loads of these rifles. Austria, these dirty Kiwis, Saudi Arabia, and it's even seen deployment to America, to the Nakatomi Plaza. The AUG, or the Australian F-88. You will not mistaken the silhouette of one of these things. It looks futuristic, it looks space age, it looks cool. Operations are cool, 2-stage trigger. But I've got to say, if I were to time travel back and find young me standing in the airsoft shop watching the Japanese gun porn, never thought I'd work with AUGs so much, but we worked with the Austrian 25th Fallschirmjägers, Paratroopers. So they were one of their elite infantry forces. So the Austrians are not part of NATO. They don't wear camouflage. They don't have body armor. They have helmets, no body armor. So when you get a combination of an extremely light setup, a bullpup design rifle, mechanized infantry, guys who are in peak condition, trained in the Alps, wow. When we were running exercises with them, now OP4, the opposition force in the US, is usually, those are the guys who play the bad guys. They run around with blank firing AKs, all that type of stuff. Typically, if you run a full-scale exercise with OP4, you expect for the first few days to be the suck, because the training cycle is that OP4 will beat you to a pulp initially. You figure out your deficiencies. You figure out internally how to work with your soldiers to fix those items. You get your good tactics and procedures down, and then you go out and re-approach OP4, and you see that your tactics succeed. That is how a training cycle works. Now the Austrians, when they were running through exercises with us, and this was a huge combined exercises, multi-nation exercise under NATO, they OP4 didn't expect for them to have that type of speed and mobility. And you have these guys just dismounting from Pinsgauers whenever they got ambushed and fighting, pushing the OP4 back. And the crazy thing is, in the first few days, they actually pushed OP4 back and took land from OP4. And then OP4 called in armor and paratroopers when you're just running light-skinned Pinsgauers against armor. You're dead. So the Austrians, for them, OP4 actually took the first brunt in facing some extremely mobile units, and then they had to use a countermeasure, which was armor. The Romanians brought their tanks. And then the Austrians had to figure out anti-armor tactics to run them well. So it was interesting to watch. Whenever I showed up, I always had my helmet and everything. And the paratroopers were very interested in U.S. body armor and camouflage, even though we were wearing ACUs, arguably one of the worst camouflage patterns ever. So I've still got pictures of me with the Austrian paratroopers, and we're just all hanging out, shooting the breeze, and they've got parts of my equipment on each and every single one of them. So yeah, that was one of my extensive exposures with the AUG, and they work very well if you're trained well with them.
716 is Steel 96, 4 Vic, 8 packs, Redcon 1, green to green. How copy, over?
Steel 96, this is 716, roger, over. 16, Steel 91, 1 pack, green, green, over. This is 716, roger, over. 16, Steel 92, 1 Victor, 2 packs, Redcon 1, over.